Alright guys, this one we're going to break up root 20. We're going to break that into 4 times 5. 4 is big as first square, so we're going to get 2 square root 5. 2 square root 5 is letter C. This problem we can't add together because we have two unlike terms, so I'm going to break root 12 up to 4 root 3, which is 2 root 3. Okay, because that's big as perfect square. Then I have to multiply those 2's together, so I get 5 root 3 minus 4 root 3, turned into 4 because the outside 2's multiply, and subtract those, so I just wind up with root 3, so that's answer A. Problem number 3, we're going to multiply outside, outside, so that's going to give me 10. I can multiply inside, inside, which is fine, but realize I have root 3 times root 24 under the radical. We could multiply that, but it gets a little bigger, so let's think about this. 24 is also the same thing as 3 times 8. 8's the same thing as 4 times 2. Well, that's a perfect square, so we have a 10 already outside. That's going to give me a 3 outside. That's going to give me a 2 outside. And I have root 2, so I'll multiply everything outside. So 30, I get 60 root 2. Number 8, I need to break down root 24. We already broke down root 24. Root 24 is, think about 24, is 4 times 6. And then root 53, let's see, does 53 break down? Well, let's see, that's going to give me a 2 outside, so that's going to give me 16 root 6. 53 is not going to break down any further, so it's just going to be this for an answer. And that whole thing is our answer. This next one, we want to distribute over the parentheses, so I get 5a minus 10. And that's going to give me 4a plus 8. Subtract 4a from both sides. So that's going to give me an a. Add 10 to both sides. Those cancel. And that's going to give me a equals 18. So letter A. Letter A is our answer. This particular one, because we're missing the x term, I'm going to add 25 to both sides. Take the square root of both sides. Don't forget the plus minus. So plus minus 5, because square root of 25 is 5. So answer is B there. Same way, this is done very similar. I'm going to add 24 to both sides. I'm going to take the root, x equals, don't forget the plus minus, but realize root 24 breaks down to 4 and 6. 4 times 6. So my answer is plus or minus square root of 4 is 2, so plus or minus 2 root 6. So letter C. This particular problem, everything's divisible by 2, so let's divide everything by 2 first. So that's going to give me x squared minus x minus 20 equals 0. So we want to figure out what two numbers multiply to give me negative 20, add to give me negative 1. So I have x, and I have a positive and I have a negative. And so I think 4 and 5 are both going to work, where it's going to be a negative 5 and a positive 4. If I multiply 4 times negative 5, I get negative 20. If I go 4 plus negative 5, I get negative 1. And then we're going to set each of these equal to 0, so x equals negative 4 and x equals positive 5. So letter C is our answer. For the next problem, we do it by factoring. So we need to move the 30 over, but we can do this first. Divide everything by 2. So I'm going to x squared plus 2x is equal to 15. Let's bring the 15 over by subtracting it. Bless you. Now we're going to try and figure out, we can do our short way of factoring. What two numbers multiply together give me negative 15, add together to give me 2. So 3 and 5 are going to work. So I have a positive and I have a negative. So it's going to be a positive 5 and a negative 2. Set up both those equal to 0, so x equals negative 5. And x is equal to positive 2. Oop, that should have been a 3. I'm so sorry. I don't know what I was thinking. So that should have been positive 3. So negative 5, positive 3. So that's answer A. Number 10 is a different one. Realize I can factor an x out first. So I get x equals 0. That's one of my answers. Okay? So it's either this one or this one or this one so far. Okay, we eliminated B. Then I'm going to factor the middle out. So I want the two numbers that multiply together to give me positive 96, add together to give me negative 10. So they're both going to be negative. So multiply to get 96, add to get me 10. And so 96 is going to break down to, let's see, 1 and 96, 2 and 48. 2 and 48. 3 and 32. 4 and 4 is not good. 4. Let's see. 4. That's 2. 4 and 24. 4 and 24 might work, but if I subtract them both, I would get negative 28. So we're getting closer. Let's see. 6 and 1. 6 and 14. There it is. So 6 and 14. 6 and 14. So set those equal to 0. So x equals 6. X equals positive 14. 96. Oh, it should have been a 12. My gosh. I'm getting goofy on this. So 6 and... Oh, believe it or not, the answer is not even there. But those three things should have been the answer. None of those answers would have worked. Just nature of the beast. Oh, actually, that would have been 8 and 12. So that would have been 8 and 12. So it would have been answer C. Boy, I really messed that up. I'm so sorry, guys. So realize my answers. That should have been 8 and 12. 8 and 12 would have worked. 6 and 14 didn't work. Okay. All right, quadratic formula. So I get x equals negative b. So that's going to be a positive 10 because negative, negative. 10 squared, 100 minus 4ac all over 2a. Peace out, friends. Be good. Have a great day. Plus or minus 100 minus 20 over 2. 10 plus or minus root 80 over 2. 80 breaks down to 16 and 5. Bye, guys. So I'm going to replace, see you guys, I'm going to replace 80 with 4 root 5, so I get 10. Thank you. Plus or minus 4 root 5. Yeah, go on in my office. It's right there on my desk. Right next door. Divide everything by 2. Yep, 2. That's 5. See you guys. So I get 5 plus or minus 2 root 5. Thank you. Quadratic formula on this one. X is equal to negative b. Well, I'm already plugging in a negative. Plus or minus b squared, which is 4 minus 4ac, all divided by 2a.
Thanks, sir.
Yep, see you. 2 plus or minus, I get 4. 4 times, let's see, do this off to the side. 4 times 27. That's going to give me 28 carry the 2. That's 8, 9, 10, 108. So positive 108 over 6. So that's going to give me a root 112. Let's think about it. 112 will break down. That is going to be, let's see, use my calculator. $112 divided by 4, is that the biggest? No, 112 divided by 16. 16 and 7 will work. Okay, so if that's 16 and 7, that's going to give me 4 root 7, and that breaks down. So I get 2 plus or minus, that's a 6, 4 root 7 over 6. Reduce that, that's 1, that's 2, that's 3. So my answer is 1 plus or minus 2 root 7 all over 3. And that's my answer. There's that answer. Next one, I'm going to factor out, I'm going to divide everything by 10 first. So that's going to give me x to the third minus 6x squared minus 16x equals 0. I can factor an x out of everything. So x equals 0, that's one of my answers. And then I have to factor out, because I factor an x, this. And then we need to check to see if we can break that down. 160, two numbers I multiply to give me 160, and add to give me 6. So I have a positive and negative, so I got 1 and 160, 62 and 80, 3, 4 and 40, 8 and 20, 8, 20, 9, 10, and 16. 10 and 16 are going to work, 10 and 16. Okay, so I want a negative 6, that's a negative 16, a positive 10. So my answers are x equals 0, x equals negative 10, x equals 16. All right, next problem. Let's see. I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides first, and I'm going to distribute over as well, so I get 6x. All right, let's do this. 6x minus 12 plus 5 equals 41. Combine the negative 12 and that, so minus 7 equals 41. So 6x, adding that, I get to 48. Divide each side by that, and I wind up getting 8. All right, this one we can go ahead and add the 25 to the other side. Take the square root. Don't forget the plus minus. So plus or minus 5, that's my answer. And then this problem, I'd probably use the quadratic formula on. So I get x equals negative b. So negative 2 plus or minus 2 squared, which is 4, minus 4 times a times c, all divided by 2 times a, which is 4. So I get 2 plus or minus 4. I get 8 plus 40 over 4. So I get negative 2 plus or minus root 44 over 4. 44 is going to break down, root 44 is going to break down to 2 root 11 because that's 4 times 11. So if I plug the 2 root 11 in, so I get negative 2 plus or minus 2 root 11 over 4 and reduce. That becomes a 2, a 1, and a 1. So I get negative 1 plus or minus root 11 all over 2. Okay, number 17. We can factor this the quick way. Put two numbers multiply to give me 15, add to give me negative 8. So I get negative 3 and negative 5. So x equals 3 and x equals 5 because you set those equal to 0. Number 18, I'm going to add 2x to both sides. So I get plus 2x minus 99 equals 0. And I think we can do this the quick way. They're both going to be, one's going to be positive, one's going to be negative. We want the numbers that multiply to give me negative 99, add to give me 2. So I think we're going to go with 11 and 9. So I want a positive 11 and a negative 9. So set those equal to 0. So I get negative 11, x equals positive 9. All right, rectangle problem. So I have a length, I have a width. The area of a rectangle, so area of a rectangle is length times width. And so I know that I have 36 equals length times width. It says the width, let me change color on here, we'll go pink. So I'm going to call that x. It says the length is 5 more than twice the width. So the width is 2 plus 5. So I can plug those both in. And that's going to give me 36 is equal to x and 2x plus 5. So 36 equals 2x squared plus 5x. And let's see if we can solve that. It's not going to solve too easily. So 2x plus 5x minus 36 equals 0. We can try and factor it. That should factor. So remember, we want the two values that are going to add to multiply to 72, add to 5. Okay, and this is our longer way of doing it. So let's see. 1 and 72, 2 and 36, 3, 4, 6, and 12 are going to work. And it's going to be a positive 12 and a negative 6. So I get 2x squared plus 12x plus or minus 6x minus 36. So I factor that, and I can factor 2x out, and that gives me x plus 6. And I factor out negative 6, and that's x plus 6. So the x plus 6 equals 0 would give me a negative, so that's not going to work. The other one, I'm going to get 2x minus 6, so that equals to 0. Add 6 to both sides. So I get x is 3, so I get a width of 3. And the length is 2 times 3, which is 6, so I get 11. Then this one, we have the perimeter of a rectangle. Perimeter is 2L plus 2W, and it has an area of something. So we have a width and a length. So things that we know about this. Perimeter is equal to 32 equals 2L plus 2W. I can divide everything by 2, L plus W. So I'm going to solve this for a letter, so I get 16 minus L. And then I have an area of 55, but I'm going to plug our W in here, so I have L times 16 minus L. Distribute the that, so I get 55 is equal to 16L minus L squared. Let's move everything over, so I'm going to get L squared minus 16L plus 55 is equal to 0. And so the factors of 55, we can do it the quick way of factoring, is going to give me -5 and -11. So if I set those equal to 0, I get a width of 5 and a length of 11. That's all. Have a great day. Bye-bye.